Welcome. I am Frank Raffaelle, or Turtle. I am the founder of Coffee. Well, coffee at its very core is a food and beverage. The thing that really sets us apart, we believe, is our social impact. You know, we just want to show that a company could be very profitable and very charitable. And that's something we're very proud and lucky and blessed to have been able to prove and keep on proving. We have some iconic locations. We have an incredible product. You know, we've had single origin coffees, which is the lifeblood of what we do. We have great produce from a partner farm of ours. I like the idea of finding a way to really find, I would say, the arbitrage in the world, to find a place to make the money. And when you make the money, you can expand the mission.
They find these charitable partners and they literally ask them, what do you need? And they supply it. Then not only is Frank a hero, he's a superhero. And not just because he donates to us. It has nothing to do with his contribution. It has everything to do with his heart. That's what coffee is. Coffee is an extension of what Frank Identity is all about, wanting to give back. Our organizations are so important in our communities, but we cannot survive and we cannot be sustainable unless we have people like Frank and businesses like Coffee.
Frank Raffaelle, our Turtle, is not only a man of the business of coffee, but a man serving up plenty of generosity with every cup. Please welcome our Huck's hero, Frank Raffaelle. Frank?
Thank you, Doug.
Great having you here.
I brought you some coffee.
You brought me coffee.
Of course I did, please.
You know what? I would even drink it tonight just to stay awake and make sure that I'm totally alert for this show.
Well, you may need to chew it. It's beans.
Oh, it's beans. Yes. Well, beans on that. I'll have to brew it up later. What in the world possessed you to say, okay, I think I can do something with coffee,
Sure.
not just a business, but I can make some form of community service out of this whole thing?
Well, I guess much like most people's lives, you know, it's a journey, and the journey takes some unexpected turns sometimes. You know, I had a great job. I was working on Wall Street as a trader for a big fund. I'm doing very well. You know, I was making more money than I thought I would make. You know, I grew up a poor kid in Brooklyn, Queens, one of 6 kids on welfare. My dad was disabled. And, you know, I was doing great. And I never realized that there was more to life. Something really sort of traumatic happened in New York City, and it was 9/11. And I was living and working downtown during that time. And my life took a path that, you know, really focused my, my future direction and really gave some deep thought of what I want to do with my life and for the future.
You know, when you're talking about the guys on Wall Street, they can make a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah.
Money that would stagger people in the
Sure.
rest of the states.
Yeah.
But something happened inside of you, and you said, that's not all there is to life.
Well, you know what? When I was, you know, actually I got evacuated from New York City during that day. My wife and I ran from the buildings, and we got trapped in Battery Park. And we were on the ground, sort of praying, covered in soot, covered in dust. And we thought we were done. You know, we thought that our life was sort of finished. And at some point, we heard this really loud noise, really sort of crazy loud noise, louder than when the towers actually fell. And it wound up being, as we were praying, an American fighter jet, F-15, I believe it was. And someone I was with noticed it was a jet and said, the air is safe right now, and we're gonna live. And from that moment, I knew my life had changed. I knew that God had saved me. I knew that I was in a place where I had a different direction in my life, and I didn't know exactly how that was gonna manifest. And I wanted to start a business that really incorporated something that I was sort of destined to do.
You've got stores all over the New York City area now. Why coffee? What was it about the coffee?
You know, I wanted to open a company that had a charitable component. You know, it could have been anything. I just knew that it had to be for profit, but it had to have a social mission. So initially, I just said, you know, I'd open up a shop, and we would give a portion of our revenue to charity. And we opened up one little place in Queens, and I think the model wound up working out a lot quicker than I had thought. One shop turned into over a dozen over the last few years, and it's been a bit of a whirlwind. And it really just shows that I think right now in business and in New York and in America in general, you know, everyone's charitable, right? Every single human being is charitable. Everyone in America is charitable. In New York City, people are charitable. I think people just need an opportunity to show how charitable they really can be. When they come into my shops and they come into the places, they really have a strong visceral connection to, yes, they come there for the food and beverage, they come there for the coffee, but they know a portion of what they're spending is going to a good cause. And I think that really has something that really resonates with people and gives them the opportunity to really, you know, enjoy the day and start it in a very positive way.
Are you happier now than you were when you were making a bunch of dough on Wall Street? Is this a new you that you go to bed at night satisfied with the life you live?
You know what? For better or worse, I'm always happy, Gov. I don't know. I've had a good life, a great life, actually. I would say that, you know, there are certainly benefits to being on Wall Street. If you ask my beautiful wife, Diane, she may remember those benefits very well. Much different than the coffee business right now.
Yeah.
You know, coffee, especially when you start any business, there's a lot of investment that takes place.
Yeah.
And New York City and the country in general, especially right now, what's going on with our great president, you know, and it's, you know, with the current environment, it's actually a relatively good place to start a company. You know, regulation is being decreased, regulation is being reduced, and I think, you know, taxes are also being thought about in a much more thoughtful way. So people like me are able to grow, expand, take capital, and hopefully get a nice return on it.
Final question.
Yes.
How many people work within your company? How many people do you provide jobs for?
Well, we have a couple hundred employees right now, especially in season, a couple hundred employees, and we're growing. So our goal is, you know, to be national, to be international. We have one shop overseas, to be more international, and to really be on the level of, you know, I don't often say the S words, be on the level of Starbucks and other companies.
I hope you do it, and I'm so proud of you and your story and what brought you to that.
I appreciate it.
You truly deserve to be our Huck's hero, and we're honored to be able to honor you tonight. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Governor.
Great having you here.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Now, if you want to know more about Frank and his mission, and I don't know why you wouldn't want to know more, and if you want to get your own bag of amazing Coffeed coffee, you can visit coffeednyc.com. That's coffeednyc.com. It's right there on your screen. You don't have to think about it, just write it down. And you can also follow them on social media. Just search for @CoffeedNYC.